Which side are we going on?
This would be liquid.
Okay. Why do we pull from the liquid side? Why not pull from the gas and vapor side?
The gas would take longer,
Gas will take longer, but what else?
higher pressure.
The gas would be at a lower pressure.
What else?
Service valve is only welded on the other side.
Is it?
We can weld it on the other side too.
The unit's off, right? What happened? Why are we pulling from liquid? Why not pull from vapor?
This is sauce.
The system's off.
Are we pushing into it?
No, we're pulling out. We're pulling,
On the unit?
yeah, pulling stuff out of the unit. So why are we going to the liquid side?
You don't kill the recovery machine?
Well, because the unit is off. The unit's not running.
So there isn't much.
So there's not that much vapor.
Because the heater device?
So we're actually, which side are we on?
Which side are we on?
If it's liquid, we're on the high side. Isn't it? Isn't the liquid side the high side? I
Not
mean,
necessarily. The unit is off. So if the unit is off, what's happening inside the unit? It's equalized. Okay, so what do we have mostly of?
most of it.
Liquid.
So it's
Liquid is easier to pull on than vapor. Once we start pulling off the liquid, what happens?
The rest of the vapor condenses.
No, the liquid or so will go there, so it'll start to flash off. As the liquid is in there, the liquid is occupying some space, that remainder space is that vapor. As we start going ahead and pulling off that liquid, the vapor is expanding.
because of lower pressure.
The lower pressure, so because that liquid is no longer there pushing up, and so on that vapor, it's pulled away.
So if it's to a vacuum, it becomes, all of it will become vapor and go through.
Exactly.
So make sure that's off.
Equalizes through the compressor.
Equalize, well, it's, on these ones, so they're just capillary tubes. So it's
So if
gonna
you
be
would like
a regular TXV.
the salt, like the lens on, it would equalize through the water
It was
sample.
like last one, that's-
I got a two-straighter valve. Is that right? This one's got a valve, now it's got a valve. Is that right?
Yep. So one of your hands will be pressed, that trailer valve.
So you can wipe.
Well, as we go ahead, so we pull, since the unit is not running, so we're pulling out all the liquid. The liquid is will there, so we pull out, so and cause, so the vapor is going to expand through the unit. But that vapor is will there, so will eventually, so that we think the full unit, so we'll pull off all the liquid. Once we pull up all that liquid, so recovery automatically switches back over to it as a full vapor. That's just one of the switches, so from that liquid.
Now it's about there.
Because as we go here, so when we're pushing over, we just say the lid as it's trying to pull it, turn it flash off, and go vapor.
Recover,
Could we open up some pull up on the line receiver?
start it.
You could, if it does have it, so you can pull right from there too. The only thing is that if it has, this automatic connection valve, it'll still have refrigerant, so.
So it's closed off here.
It's not all the refrigerant will pass over. These ones have capillary tubes, so the refrigerant will pass over.
So now it's
Yeah,
going
we're
through
liquid.
and then pressure's there. After it's hooked up, open the valve here and then to the recovery unit.
Okay.
And then open it up here and then pressure goes to here and then you open up the valve.
Right. Once we have it on, once we
Turn
have
it on and then
start
open
it.
it.
and then open. Because once you've actually hooked up, so we have refrigerant, the refrigerant will automatically start to go to here, especially so once you've got your valve open. Once you got your valve open or so, it'll pass through here and out that way.
And then this would be opened up.
Oh, this is on liquid.
Tank might be under enough pressure to force
Yeah.
it out right away.
So this is on liquid, okay, it's on recover, it's on. So once it gets on and everything, or so, then you can go ahead or so, and you can open this up, because we have refrigerant so from the unit, it's already here. We've opened it up, we have refrigerant from here, gone to the machine. once the machine is on, it'll go here so and start pushing that, think of it so as it moving the refrigerant from here to here as it's trying to push up this way.
So having it liquid, it's just partially open?
It's, think of it, yes, think of it so as it being partially open, because we're pulling out all the liquid out of the unit, because the unit is not running. So if it's not running, we've got liquid in there that we want to take out. Liquid is faster to take out than vapor. That's the other thing too to consider. Because if you go here, so you take out, let's say you're only taking out the vapor, well, what happens to the liquid? The liquid will eventually or so flash off a little bit more to go ahead and turn into vapor, but it's gonna take an awful long time to do that. So we take out all the liquid first, drop it in some of the recovery tank. Okay, so we pulled everything out. Now what happens?
You would check the weight difference
Should we check the weight
before and
difference?
after.
Make sure so that we pulled everything out.
You would then close it off.
Okay, now where do we close it off first? Because that's important.
First we would switch it to purge.
Yep.
Purge would stop it from flowing back to the tank. Do close the other valves off too.
Okay.
So that'd be closed off. And then close that off.
Okay.
And then it would be safe to disconnect.
If we've already pulled all the refrigerant off in this direction, we've already purged it, we pulled it from there to the bottle, we turn it off at the bottle, we're fine. At that point, all the refrigerant is there. Because which way is the refrigerant then going? From leaving here
From the unit
to where?
to the gauges.
To the gauges,
unit. This-
to here, to here. So we can go ahead or so and we can shut off from there as we're following along. But once we get to here and we're purging ourselves from here to here, we want to make sure so that since this is pushing, we want to make sure so we turn off here. So we turn off there first, what happens to that force that was pushing? It stopped.
Oh,
So now the refrigerant is going to flow back. So we keep it going, that way so it's pushing, yeah, it's still open, it's still pushing. Once it's pushed, then we can turn it off here. So now we're off here,
there first.
and then we're good.
So once that's shut off there, then what you shut off after that?
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't
because at
matter.
that point, the refrigerant
Not-
is
now
not
you're
going to flow back.
Yeah, now you're safe.
Now you're safe. Now, as I said or so about this one, that one's the nice one.